Hello, welcome to Neuro World. Today we're going to be talking about how perfumes hack our brain and the neuroscience of scent and emotion. How certain smells can evoke such nostalgia in us and bring about certain time periods or memories in us that were in the more very depths of our brains. Why I think this matters is because scents can influence our emotions and memories. So first off, we're going to start talking about how the olfactory system processes perfume. When we smell a fragrance, the odor molecules enter the nose and bind to the olfactory receptors in the nasal cavity. These signals travel to the olfactory bulb, which send information to our limbic system, which is our brain's emotional center, and the limbic system processes the scent and links it to memories, emotion, and pleasure responses as well. Since smell bypasses the rational thinking part of the brain, scents can create immediate emotional and physiological reactions before we can process them consciously. Can perfumes be addictive? Learning more about how previous generations, certain people used to be called paint sniffers and get a sort of high from smelling odor molecules from chemicals, I was wondering if perfumes could do something similar. We find that vanilla and gourmand type of scents tend to release dopamine, and they're associated with warmth, comfort, and pleasure, and they mimic the scent of early on mother's skin, and this is why that it can feel naturally soothing. Musk and skin-like scents can mimic human pheromones, which increase attraction and intimacy. Oud and smoked woods type of smells are very deep smells and can be hypnotic, and they have been used in spiritual rituals for centuries. Scents like citrus and bright florals are known to energize the brain by boosting serotonin, creating a more refreshing and uplifting feel. Since scent is directly tied to the nervous system, certain smells can cause real physiological changes and memory triggers. Just the scent of a childhood perfume or a loved one's fragrance can instantly bring back strong emotions, whether good or bad. Things like lavender and sandalwood have calming effects, which can reduce stress and lower our heart rate. And then certain heavy scents can cause overstimulation and nausea, such as synthetic scents or heavy florals, and they could even cause olfactory fatigue or dizziness. Attachments to certain perfumes can come through nature's scents changing over the seasons as well. For a little scent hack, the best scents for hot weather include scents that tend to evaporate faster, making lighter, fresher scents more ideal. These include more citrus-based scents, herbal notes, aquatic and marine notes, and fruity scents. And certain scents to avoid in hot weather, these tend to be scents that amplify sweetness and heaviness, making some scents feel oppressive instead of pleasant. And these include overly sweet or heavy gourmands, dense, woody, and spicy notes, animalistic scents, and ambers and resins. Some scent hacks for colder weather tend to be ones that are more stronger and richer scents, which work best as they linger longer and project well into the colder weather. These include warmer and spicier fragrances, resins, and incense notes. And certain scents to avoid in the cold weather include light, citrusy, and aquatic scents, fruity scents. So it could be basically the opposite of whatever is good for summers. And these lack depth to stand out in colder temperatures, which is why that these are a little bit less ideal. And while we're talking about scents, I feel like it always helps to be more observant about what kind of scents are in your day-to-day life and see how you can switch things up or get inspired about new scents or figure out what kind of things you truly like to feel and smell in your day-to-day life. So it's always good to share those, and if there's something that you learned from observing these scents, I'd love to learn more about that. People can also use scents to influence experience as well. So for the living space, people have a lot of wooden furniture and old books, and this could create a set of nostalgia and also kind of longing for history as well, or learning about history. And then houseplants and fresh flowers. Greenery can always impact our mood and our living space and our relaxation spaces. The smell of clean cotton and fresh linen help give us a refreshing and fresh scent. And for workplaces and schools, research shows that improving air quality and eliminating bad odors can lead to higher productivity and morale. And within hotels and luxury spaces, signature scents can be designed to create lasting impressions and use scent marketing to neutralize bad smells and create positive customer experiences. Also, in wellness and therapeutics, like spas and meditation centers, there's a lot of essential oils, incense, and aromatherapy for stress and mood balance. For a little segment, we have a quick overview of famous luxury hotel scent profiles. While we can remember nostalgically certain good smells, we can also never forget the bad smells that we've encountered. We're going to dive into the psychological effects and how stress and anxiety and mood changes can occur when unpleasant odors are encountered. Bad smells can activate the amygdala, which is our brain's center for processing emotions such as fear and stress. Studies show that exposure to strong and foul smells, like rotting food or sewage, increases our cortisol levels, and bad smells can lower tolerance levels, making people more irritable, anxious, and aggressive. People exposed to bad odors tend to rate their environment and even other people more negatively than those in neutral or pleasant-smelling spaces. Cognitively, it can also impair our thinking. We can have reduced concentration and decision-making with exposure to foul smells. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews found that exposure to foul smells can interfere with cognitive performance, reducing focus, problem-solving abilities, and overall productivity. Offices or schools with poor air quality with musty or chemical smells often see lower performance levels and increased fatigue. Research suggests that bad smells make people even more cautious and risk-averse in decision-making, possibly due to the brain's associating foul odors with danger or contamination. Studies in sociology and psychology also indicate that people are less likely to trust or cooperate in environments with bad smells. The smell of body odor or unclean spaces can lead to social distancing, causing people to unconsciously avoid certain individuals or places even. Bad odors can cause unconscious bias against people or spaces, and a study in psychological science found that people judged others as less trustworthy or competent when exposed to bad smells while interacting with them. The smell of rotting food, strong chemicals, or decay can trigger nausea and the gag reflex as an evolutionary response to avoiding potential toxins. Certain odors are more likely to cause physiological distress, leading to dizziness or discomfort. Strong synthetic or chemical smells, such as paint, gasoline, cleaning agents, can cause headaches, dizziness, and mental fog. Poor air circulation mixed with bad odors can contribute to fatigue and sluggishness. Now we're going to go over how perfumes can be affected by your skin type and oil balance. Your skin's oil balance can change how a perfume develops. Oily skin holds fragrance longer and intensifies sweet, warm notes, such as vanilla, amber, and musk. For dry skin, it absorbs fragrance more quickly, making scents fade faster, so woody and citrus scents often don't last long. And for balanced skin, those hold scents moderately well without major distortions. Along with oil balance, the skin's pH level, which varies by person to person, can affect how perfumes interact with the skin. Some people's sweat contain higher fatty acids or ammonia, which can turn floral or citrus notes sour. A high salt content in sweat can enhance metallic, mineral-like scents, while muting soft, powdery fragrances. So, looking at the influence on hormones on fragrance, we're going to look at how testosterone versus estrogen can affect perfume longevity. People with higher testosterone levels tend to have more acidic sweat, which can intensify woody, spicy, and musky notes, but make light floral or citruses fade more quickly. People with higher estrogen levels often have more neutral pH levels, which helps retain sweet floral and powdery notes. With thyroid and metabolism and their impact on perfume, a faster metabolism overall can make fragrances fade more quickly since the body processes skin oils faster. Thyroid imbalances can cause fluctuations in body temperature and oil production as well, changing how perfumes develop over time. Some scents to avoid if you have oily skin are overly sweet and gourmand scents, since they can become sickeningly sweet. With oily skin, the best choices are woody, spicy, or green fragrances, since they balance oil production. If you have dry skin, you should avoid light citrus or aquatic scents since they fade too fast. And your best choices will be the heavy florals, musks, and ambers for better longevity. For those with higher sweat and salt content, you should avoid metallic, aldehydic, or overly synthetic perfumes since they can smell harsh. And the best choices for you would be natural florals, woods, and spices since they blend better with body chemistry. This next segment is just for fun, not intended to say people of a certain ethnicity or region can't smell good with a certain scent. It's more just for explorative ideas of what has worked in the past and looking at genetics very lightly. So for the Middle East and North Africa, we're going to start with the preferred notes, and these include oud, incense, amber, spices, and musk. And this is because skin in these regions tends to have a higher natural oil production, which makes intense and resinous scents last longer. In the South Asian region, preferred scents include sandalwood, jasmine, cardamom, and vetiver-based scents. And this is because the hotter climate makes more woody and spicy notes more pleasant as they blend well with body heat. In the Eastern Asia region, preferred notes include citrus, light florals, aquatic, and green tea scents. And this is because many people genetically from that region have a variation of the ABCC11 gene, and that results in a lower body odor and drier skin, which makes stronger perfumes overwhelming. In the Northern European region, pine, crisp, citrus, marine, and fresh florals tend to be preferred notes because with cooler climates and skin with lower oil productions allow for fresh, clean scents to last longer and feel more natural. In the Latin America and Caribbean regions, the preferred notes tend to be white florals, coconut, and tropical fruits such as mango passion fruit. This is because the high humidity intensifies bright and juicy scents, while florals add vibrancy to the warm climates. And lastly, Southern European preferred notes include citrus like bergamot and lemon, vanilla, and Mediterranean herbs such as rosemary and basil, because the region's warm yet dry climate makes aromatic, sun-soaked ingredients feel energizing and timeless. To recap, scent is very personal and powerful. Explore new perfumes, test different scents, and you can create your own blends and figure out what you like for your go-to scent.